We have the Acting Registrar of Cooperatives, Earla Allen, ECA, yes, Earla Allen, I'm making sure I'm getting that right, and Monoe Tweed, President of the SK Beekeepers Cooperative, to tell us more. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Good Morning, SKN.
Thank you for having us.
You are certainly welcome.
All right, so first question, right off the bat. Conflicting definition, it seems, of what cooperatives are. What are cooperatives?
Okay, so a cooperative is a group of people coming together to solve a problem. It's an autonomous group. It's a group that is lent to democracy. And they really come together to tackle some sort of issue. It has to be an issue that is common among them. So, for example, you may have a farmer's co-op, because typically we do have farmer's co-ops. And what they do, they come together because they're all farmers. They have basically the same problems. And so they come together as a group, because when you come together as a group, it's better than handling it as an individual. So basically that's what cooperatives are. It's democratically, it lends itself to democracy. They also have a governing body. They are governed by a set of bylaws, which they have to keep in line with the St. Kitts and Nevis Cooperatives Act 2011. And they basically come together and they do what they have to do to make sure that their members are taken care of.
So their interests are represented.
Right.
Strength in numbers.
Yes.
Effectively. Okay. Thank you.
So when was this cooperative movement formed?
Okay, so the Department of Cooperatives was formed quite some time ago. The department is a governing body, and it's the overseer of all of the cooperatives. Now, just to let you know, in our country we have financial cooperatives. So you're quite accustomed to the financial cooperatives. These are the St. Kitts and Nevis Cooperative Credit Union, the Nevis Cooperative Credit Union, the Police Cooperative Credit Union, FND, now the First Federal Cooperative Credit Union. However, we don't manage those anymore. Our department, as a government body, is focused on handling the producer cooperatives or the service cooperatives. So these are farmers, fishers, the beekeepers. We even have a taxi co-op. The schools, they have junior cooperatives. We have agro-processors. So we do have quite a number of co-ops. So the government wants to give the push to cooperatives, because we believe that by putting people together, by bringing people together, they can help one another. And the government is trying to push to make sure that people become business people.
All right, so in terms of that, obviously there's some oversight still, because I imagine that you're basically the gatekeeper of the law and the action of the cooperatives. Walk us through a typical day doing what you do then.
Okay, so what we do, we work with the cooperatives. Like you said, it's really twofold. We have the Registrar of Cooperatives, the Registrar's Office, which we are really supposed to be keeping the cooperatives in line along with the Cooperative Act. So how many members do you have? Do you have your books? Do you have your records? Are they proper? Are you keeping them, So we try to ensure that we keep the cooperatives in line. If they're not in line, we still try to help them on the other side.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so there's a hard question I want to poke in there. So oftentimes there's a lack of a transparency between the governing bodies of the cooperatives and its members. How do you deal with that?
A lot of it comes through training. Training and trying to ensure that the co-ops are kept together and they know what their roles are. What are the roles of the members? What are the roles of the governing body, the executive? So a lot of time we just try to ensure that they do what they're supposed to do. Transparency is always going to be an issue, but there is what we call the supervisory committee, and the supervisory committee, which is made of 3 members of that particular cooperative, it keeps the executive body, it keeps their feet to the fire. Okay. So even though you have an executive board, there's a supervisory committee and they have the oversight. Okay. So they will tell you, so why is it that the executive is doing this? They're not supposed to be doing this. They're supposed to be doing something else. And so they can ask the relevant questions.
Okay. So they ensure that the transparency is enforced.
Correct.
Okay, good stuff.
So Monoe, tell us about your experience navigating in this domain, as it were, dealing with the registrar's office and also the membership of the Beekeepers Association, cooperative?
Okay. I'm fairly new to the role. I was appointed earlier this year. But thus far, I found that on the registrars of cooperative side, they're quite helpful. If you need something answered, you can reach out. You get an officer. Many times I will call Miss Allen, and she would say, well, this is possible, this is not. You could go and speak to your members, try to reach out to them more personally to keep that interaction so that even though I am on the executive, I still would have some kind of relationship with the members so that they can know where we're going. In terms of the membership, the relationship is good for the most part. I would like to see a bit more active participation of the general membership, because we have a group and the group is quite capable, but everybody's time does not add up all the time. But most are interested and willing to work.
So it's your assessment, you're in agreement with Ms. Allen, of course, that cooperatives are beneficial? Most
definitely. Once you get a cohesion, it's beneficial. You can have, in terms of economy of scale, you get more chance to import at a better rate. There are a lot of advantages that the cooperative can bring together once everybody is able to work together.
This is a very nuanced conversation. I'm glad that you said that. I'm going to go back to Ms. Allen. Interesting, economies of scale and things of the sort. You give advice in relation to these things.
Correct. And like I was saying earlier, if you're an individual, let us just say you want a mug. So economies of scale. I want a mug. I go and buy a mug. A mug costs $10. Okay. But 15 of us want a mug. And we go to the proprietor. Or we go to whoever is selling this mug, whether it's overseas or local. That mug is not going to cost $10 for the 15 of us. So economies of scale is really important. You come together, even when you go to the government, to ask for something as a cooperative, because the cooperatives are independent. They manage their own affairs. So they go to the government. I'm a farmer, I want some wire. Sure, I might get a roll of wire. But all of us go as a cooperative, or we have advocacy on behalf of the other members. So what happens is that we go. And we get 100 bales of wire from the government. And each member is able to get, 3 or 4 rolls accordingly.
So you get more than you would have gotten if you had gone as one.
Yes. So that is important. And, cooperatives help to track, it keeps the poverty in line, right? You look for your members. It's always beneficial to your members. You look for them, you look out for them, you help them. I can go on his farm because I know he has a monkey problem. So we go on his farm to make monkey traps because we have a monkey problem, and then we go on somebody else's farm. And so it helps. It helps. It's always beneficial to the members. It's better to move as a movement as opposed to an individual, and that's where cooperatives come in.
So, Mrs. Allen, the cooperatives will be having some events. Can you expound on that?
Yes, great. So the first event that we're having, every year we try to have a series of events to celebrate cooperatives, to bring cooperatives out, to put cooperatives to the forefront, because a lot of people don't know about cooperatives. Okay. They don't even know that there's a department of cooperatives. So we have several events. Cooperatives Day is celebrated on the first Saturday in July, but we have a series of events coming up to it. Okay. So our first event is the Agro Strip. This Agro Strip is in collaboration with the St. Kitts Music Festival. We've actually had to partner with them, so thank you very much, St. Kitts Music Festival, for partnering with us. And we have the Sorrel Festival just before that. I'm so excited about the Agro Strip. But we do have the Sorrel Festival, which is on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. Okay. It's all things sorrel. And I'm sure somebody's going to be here to speak to you about that, but it's all things sorrel. On the Thursday, we have the Agro Strip. And the Agro Strip is an exciting time where all the cooperatives can come and display their wares, and they have exciting things that they want to offer to the public. Those people who are coming home for music festival, it's an excellent opportunity for them to come on out and to sample a taste of St. Kitts. We're excited about it.
I can see you're excited.
Yes, we are excited about it. So we have the different cooperatives who are going to be on display, and they're going to have a number of things that they are going to be doing.
Okay, so can you tell us where this agri-strip, since we're on that topic, where will it be located? And what else can we expect other than, well, you said sorrel is before that, but what we can expect from that strip? Okay,
so great. So we are going to have all of the cooperatives, like I say, on display. The agro strip is that strip just above the Newtown playing field, where you see the people, the vendors selling their wares, and you see so many different types of things, right, are sold on that agro strip. Yes. But this time, and actually, we are the ones. This agro strip was birthed out of a member of the St. Kitts Farmers Co-op, Mr. Solomon Morton. He felt that it was time to put the co-ops out there, and he wanted to showcase the co-ops, talk about the benefits of the co-ops, and see what the co-ops have to offer. And so he came up with the term agro strip, and everybody has been using that term, the agro strip. So we're going to have, on the agro strip, we're going to have the St. Kitts Farmers Co-op. We're going to have the Lyamiga Agricultural Cooperative, the Sandy Point Agricultural Cooperative. We have the Gideon Force Agricultural Cooperatives, and these cooperatives are going to bring so much. So, for example, let me just choose one. The Lakers, the Lyamiga Agricultural Cooperative, they're going to be having, of course, the usual fruits and vegetables, but in addition to that, they're going to be making cassava bread on the spot. Ooh. So they're going to have an expert making cassava bread. Jamie, you look as if you're too young to know about cassava bread.
Wow, I can't tell. Sure about that. Call me babyface. No, I know about cassava bread, but when you said on the spot, that's what piqued my interest, to be honest.
Yes, it's going to be on the spot. You come, the person is going to be there doing the stuff, making the stuff, showing you how to do things, and they're going to have the cassava bread on the spot. They're also going to have, when was the last time you had sugar cake from the shell? Or have you ever?
I love the way this interview is turned. No, it's been a long time, to be honest.
Okay.
So you're going to have that?
Yes, we're going to have that. We're going to have cooked food and the raw food. Mackerel and dumpling. They're going to have the mackerel and dumpling. Fantastic. I'm telling you. We're going to have the St. Kitts Farmers Co-op. They're going to have their vegan ice cream. Ice cream made from sweet potato. Have you ever heard such?
No.
Oh,
and not only that.
Forward to that.
Ice cream made from plantain.
Ooh, looking forward to that as well.
Yes. So it's going to be quite interesting.
Don't forget the fishers and the beekeepers.
Of course. In fact, Monroe, perhaps you can speak to that.
Well, I personally have not tasted it, but I hear the Fishermen Co-op have some wonderful fried fish and bakes. So I personally will look forward to that. I'll patronize them, and I encourage everyone to come out, patronize the cooperatives if possible, socialize, interact. You might find some knowledge that you wanted. You might even find a place that might be useful for you. Maybe you become a member. Nice. In terms of the beekeepers, I think we'll have something sweet and something entertaining. I don't want to say too much, but if you come out and you find our booth, you'll find something interesting.